lecture, we are going to discuss a concept which is called continuity of probability. To define continuity of probability, we need something to define, but before going into that, let us just talk about what is we mean by continuity in case we have a function f from R to R. Okay? This definition obviously all of you know, it's just a recap of that. So let f be a function from R to R. We say if we say that f is continuous at x naught if limit n tends to infinity, f of xn is equals to f of x naught for all sequence xn n greater than equals to 1 such that xn converges to x naught. Right? This definition is well known, that limit of f of xn, if that quantity is same as f of x naught for all sequence xn such that xn goes to infinity, xn goes to x naught, then we say that f is continuous at the point f. Note that the same thing I can write as limit n tends to infinity, f of xn is equals to f of limit n tends to infinity f of x, because x naught is nothing but the limit n tends to infinity f of xn, because this convergence is there. So what does that mean? That means that, well, I say that the function f is continuous at the point x naught if this limit I can take from inside to outside or from outside to inside. Okay, so note that what we have basically used in this case, we have basically used convergence of real numbers. In this case, f is also a real number, so this convergence is a convergence of real numbers, convergence of sequence of real numbers. Similarly, this convergence is also convergence of sequence of real numbers. Now let us talk about probability. So if we try to talk about almost same kind of thing in case of the probability, that my question is that if limit n tends to infinity, probability of En is this, can be written as probability of limit n tends to infinity En. Now note that this limit is meaningful to all of us because probability is a real number. So probability of En is a sequence of real numbers. So this limit is nothing but the limit of sequence of real numbers. So we know the definition of that, we know all those things. So this quantity is almost same as this kind of thing. But now talk about this side. Note that in this case, as xn was a sequence of real numbers, I know this limit. What does this limit mean? But in this case, the En is a sequence of events. So what does this limit mean? The natural question is that what does this limit mean? What is the definition? What is the definition of this limit? Clear? So if I want to talk about something like that, which will be the continuity of probability, first I have to talk about what do we mean by the limit of a sequence of events or limit of a sequence of states. And when I talk about the limit of sequence of events, we will restrict ourselves little bit in the sense that we will only going to talk about the limit of sequence of events or limit of sequence of states when the sequence is increasing sequence or decreasing sequence. So first we will going to define those things. First I will going to define what do we mean by increasing sequence of events, increasing or decreasing sequence of events, and then we are going to define what do we mean by limit for an increasing sequence of events. Similarly, what do we mean by limit for a decreasing sequence of events? So the increasing sequence of events, very straightforward definition, if En is a subset of En plus 1. Note that when in case of the sequence of real numbers, we say that xn is increasing if xn is less than equals to xn plus 1 for all n. The same thing is true here, only thing is that less than equals to sign is replaced by the subset equals to sign. So that means that a sequence En of events are said to be increasing if En is a subset of En plus 1 for all n greater than equals to 1. Similarly, decreasing sequence of sets, we will say that En is decreasing if En plus 1 is a subset of En for all n greater than equals to 1. Now, so what is the scenario? How the Venn diagram look like? So let n greater than equals to 1 be a increasing sequence of events. So how the Venn diagram look like? Venn diagram look like that this one is E1, then the bigger one is E2, then the bigger one is E3, and the things are increasing like that. The sequence is increasing like that. Now if you see that if I want to talk about limit in this case, like the limit of increasing sequence of real numbers, if I have a increasing sequence of real numbers and if I talk about the limit of that, that limit is nothing but you can talk about x infinity, something like x infinity, which is the biggest among all the xi's. If that is finite, all those are there. Obviously, in the same way, in this case, if I try to talk about the limit of En, which will be biggest among all the EI's, all the En, that basically means that this quantity can be written as En n greater than equals to 1. Okay, so I take the union of all En. Note that this is again a countable union, and limit of En for increasing sequence of events En, limit of En is defined by the union of En. Okay, the same way we define for the decreasing sequence of set, the limit of En is the intersection of En. You can understand that when it is a decreasing sequence of events, I need to take the smallest one, and the smallest one is nothing but the intersection of all En. Okay, so we define what is increasing sequence of events, we define what is decreasing sequence of events, then we define what is the limit for an increasing sequence of events, and we defined what is the limit for a decreasing sequence of events. And for the sequence of events or sequence of sets, for this course, we will restrict ourselves only for the increasing or decreasing events when the limit comes into the picture. Okay. Now let us see the main two theorems. The first theorem says that if En is an increasing sequence of events, then the continuity holds, that limit can be taken inside from outside or from outside to inside. Okay, the limit can be, limit and P are interchangeable if I have an increasing sequence of events. Similar thing is true for decreasing sequence of events, that En is decreasing sequence of events, then P and limit are interchangeable. Why this is true? This is true. The proof is quite simple. The proof is basically nothing but, see, what I try to do is that I basically need to show that this probability of this quantity, what is basically the probability of this, I need to talk about this thing, the probability of limit of En, which is probability of union of En. Now note that En's are not disjoint, so I can write it as a summation of probability of En. What I will try to do first is that to write En as a union of disjoint events. And this thing is very simple. Union of En is basically everything together here. Okay, union of En is basically everything together here. And you see from the Venn diagram very easily that union of En can be partitioned into this part. First I take En, then I take this ring, then I take this ring, which is nothing but E2 minus E1. Then I take this part, this ring part, which is nothing but E3 minus E2, and so on I will go on. Okay? So what I am going to do here is that to prove this theorem, proof of theorem, which number? Okay, number was not. Proof of theorem. We will basically proceed as follows. So I take that define an equals to E1 if n equals to 1 and n minus en minus 1 if n is strictly greater than 1. Okay, so first one is E1, then I am taking each ring, and clearly in this case an are disjoint. Clearly ans are disjoint and union of an is same as union of en, which is equals to limit n tends to infinity en, because en is a decreasing sequence. Okay, so now note that, so that basically means that probability of limit en, which is same as probability of union of n equals to 1 to infinity, which is same as summation probability of n equals to 1 to infinity, and which can be written, because an is defined by this one, so I can write it as probability of E1 plus summation n equals to 2 to infinity probability of En minus En minus 1. Now notice that En minus 1 is a subset of En. So that means that I can write probability of E1 equals to, probability of E1 I write as probability of E1, and this part I can write as summation n equals to 2 to infinity P of En minus P of En minus 1, as this thing is true because En minus 1 is a subset of En. Okay? So what does this mean? This basically mean that by the definition of the series, this basically mean that it is E1 plus limit capital N tends to infinity summation n equals to 2 to capital N P of En minus P of En minus 1. This is by the definition of the sequence, by the definition of the series. Okay. So now note that this part, where n is a finite quantity, so this part is a telescopic series. So some gets cancels out, some terms get cancels out, and I am left with E1 plus limit capital N tends to infinity probability of E capital N minus probability of E1. You can see it very easily, just expand it and you can see it very easily. Though that basically means that, well, this part does not depend on n, so it comes out, it comes out of the limit, this and this cancels out, and I am left with limit n tends to infinity P of En, which is basically same as limit n tends to infinity P of En, and which was we are trying to prove. So we prove that limit of probability of limit of En can be written as limit of probability of En. Okay, so that part is done, and we prove that for a increasing sequence of events, so let En be increasing. Let En be increasing, then we have proved that this continuity is hold true. Continuity is hold true. Now, what about the decrease? I hope that this proof is okay with everyone. So, what is the En n greater than equals to 1 is decreased. This proof can be done using the previous one. Note that if I define let Pn equals to En complement, clearly Bn, the sequence Bn is an increasing sequence of. So over Bn I can use the previous theorem, and if you use the previous theorem over Bn, what I have is that probability of limit n tends to infinity Bn is same as limit n tends to infinity probability of Bn. So this implies that probability of union of Bn n greater than equals to 1 to n greater than equals to 1 is same as limit n tends to infinity probability of En complement, which basically mean that probability of union n greater than equals to 1 En complement equals to 1 minus limit n tends to infinity probability of En, this is true because probability of En complement can be written as 1 minus probability of En. So this quantity is true. And now inside this quantity using the De Morgan's law, this quantity is in intersection of n greater than equals to 1, and then whole complement is equals to 1 minus limit n tends to infinity probability of En. So the first part, the left hand side, can be written as 1 minus probability of intersection of En n greater than equals to 1 equals to 1 minus probability of 1 minus limit n tends to infinity probability of En. This one get cancelled, then negative gets positive, and we have the result because En is a decreasing sequence of events. So limit of En is same as intersection of En. So I have limit n tends to infinity. En is same as limit n tends to infinity probability of. So limit n tends to infinity probability of En, and that's what we try to prove. So what we have till now, we have that if we take an increasing sequence of state or decreasing sequence of events, the limit and probability can be intact. Okay, this one is called the probability. This one is called the continuity from below. This condition is called the continuity from below, and this condition is called from the continuity from above. And you can understand the reason what it is called the continuity from below, because in this case limit En is basically increasing. Limit En is basically increasing, so limit En also increasing. So the limit En I am approximating from the smaller set, but in this case the limit En I am approximating from the bigger set because En is decreasing sequence of events. So that's why it is called the continuity from below, and it is called the continuity from above. Okay, so let us talk about this remark now. This remark basically says that finite additivity and continuity from below implies countable additivity. Why this is true? Before going why this is true, let us talk about what do we mean by finite additivity and what do we mean by the countable additivity. So finite additivity basically means that, so now we are going to talk about this remark. So first we will going to talk about what do we mean by finite additivity. So the finite additivity basically, we have done this result, just the name is new. So let U1 to En be disjoint events. We know that in this case, then probability of union of I equals to 1 to n can be written as summation of probability of EI. This result we have seen before, and this result is called finite additivity because here I have finite number of sets. Okay, and in this case additivity because of this summation. Now you can easily understand what do you mean by this what do you mean by this countable additivity. So instead of having finite sets, now if I have a countable collection of sets, then this is also true because this is by the definition of the probability, and that condition, that axiom in the probability is called the countable additivity. So let E1, E2 be disjoint events, then probability of union I equals to 1 to infinity is same as summation I equals to 1 to infinity probability of EI, and this particular axiom is called the countable additivity, and this particular result is called the finite additivity. Okay. Now if you remember the definition of the probability says that it is a function from f to r such that P of s equals to 1, P of e is greater than equals to 0 for all e in f, and the countable additivity holds true. So the three conditions that the three conditions that P of s equals to 1, P of e is greater than equals to 0, and countable additivity. Now, what does this result say? This remark says that finite additivity and continuity from below implies countable additivity. So that basically means that continuity from below, which is basically this result, that if I take a increasing sequence of events, and if then if I can write that probability of limit En equals to limit of probability of En, this result along with this result implies this thing. So that means that in the definition of the probability, that countable additivity condition can be replaced by two conditions. One of them is finite additivity, and the other of them is continuity from below. Why this is true? The proof of this one is not very difficult, so we try to prove that. We want to prove finite additivity plus continuity from below implies that countable additivity. Note that countable additivity implies these two conditions we have already done, because from the definition of the probability we have shown that finite additivity is true, continuity from below is true. So that basically means that with the definition of the probability, and in the definition of the probability, one of the condition is the countable additivity, that implies the finite additivity and continuity from the below. Now we are trying to prove the other way, that the finite additivity plus continuity from below implies the countable additivity. So this proof is not difficult. The reason is that well, I have the countable additivity. So suppose, so what I have to basically prove? We have to basically prove that for any disjoint event E1, E2, En, so E1, E2 dot dot dot, the probability of union of EIs can be written as summation of the probability. Okay? So let E1, E2 be disjoint what I have, I know the finite additivity, I know the countable continuity from below. Okay? Note that I cannot use the continuity from below directly on EI. Why this is true? This is true because ENs are disjoint. That means that EN is neither increasing nor decreasing. So if it is not increasing, I cannot use the continuity from below. So first what I have to do, I have to check if I can make a new sequence of events such that that new sequence is a increasing sequence of events. Obviously, the new sequence I want to make using the events EN. And that thing is fairly simple. Let us define. Let's define AN equals to union of EI, I equals to 1 to N, N is greater than equals to 1. So that basically means that A1 is E1, A2 is E1 union E2, A3 is E1 union E2 union E3, and so on. Now you can easily see that clearly the sequence AN is increased. So clearly I can write, I can use the continuity from below. So I can write limit AN and probability of that as n tends to infinity is same as limit n tends to infinity probability of AN. Okay. Now notice two things. First thing is that that union of n equals to 1 to infinity is same as union of n equals to 1 to infinity, and which is equals to limit of en. Okay, and moreover, probability of an, which is nothing but probability of union of en, p of union of I equals to 1 to n. Note that here I have finite, n is finite. So here this is a collection of finite number of events. This union is a union of a finite number of indices. So I have finite additivity and EIs are disjoint. So the finite additivity can be used here, and I can write this quantity same as summation probability of EI, I runs from 1 to n. So what does this mean? This means that this thing now implies, this part implies it turns out to be probability of union of n, n is greater than equals to 1, and this part turns out to be limit n tends to infinity summation I equals to 1 to n p of ei, which is basically nothing but summation I equals to 1 to infinity probability of ei, and that is why what we try to prove, it says that probability of union I equals to 1 to infinity ei can be written as summation I equals to 1 to infinity probability of ei. Okay, so we use both the fact that well the continuity from below here, and then we use the finite additivity here, and that implies that we have countable. Note that this one also I can also able to prove, and you can check this one in the similar way, that finite additivity and continuity from above implies countable additivity. That continuity from below I can also replace by continuity from above. So finite additivity and continuity from below implies countable additivity. Similarly, finite additivity and continuity from above also implies countable additivity. Thank you for listening.